What's up? This is Christy, aka C, and welcome to the Come Along with Travel series. This is part two with Courtney, but this time about Nashville. Check out our socials below and subscribe for upcoming convos and content. Hey, Courtney, again. This is
Hey,
part
girl.
two, part two in a different destination.
I guess I've been
Um,
traveling a lot in the
you
past couple of
have.
months.
You have been jet setting
Yes.
quite a bit. I love it. I love it. um, so put on your cowboy boots and your cowboy hats because we are going to Nashville.
I don't know why I started doing the Megan Thee That's what I was
We
doing.
are going to the honky tonk.
Girl,
Did you go to a honky tonk in Nashville?
no.
Okay.
That wasn't on my list, but maybe next time. I ain't gonna make no
Yeah.
promise.
So let me tell you, I've been to Memphis.
hmm
Um, and when I think about Tennessee, I think barbecue, I think whiskey. Nashville, I associate with country music, not so much Memphis. So why Nashville?
So I had a friend that lived in Kentucky, and we were like, "Oh, let's meet up. Where should we go?" And I had never been to Nashville, and he was saying like Nashville is a really cool town. You would like it. It was like 3 hours drive from him, so I was like, "Bump it. Let's just go to Nashville." And I was like, "Boom! It's my year of experiences, so
Hmm.
I'm trying a new place." So I just picked Nashville.
Okay, I
Mhm.
love it. So where did you stay? Well, I know you stayed in an Airbnb. Why Airbnb versus a hotel?
So the Airbnb that we stayed at was like on 16th Street, right off of Music. I think it's Music Drive, which
Mm,
is right maybe like 4 blocks from downtown Nashville, where like a lot of things that you want to do are at.
mm,
So the Airbnb just seemed easy because we only stayed for 3 days, so it wasn't a long time, and the hotels were kind of far out, so we didn't want to be too far from a lot of the things that were happening. And
mm,
Airbnbs were just they were just cheaper.
mhm, mhm.
It's just cheaper, so it worked out.
So would you recommend an Airbnb versus a hotel? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I would definitely recommend an Airbnb because the Airbnb that we stayed at, there was like it's like an apartment building, and it seemed like all of the apartments were Airbnbs. So
Okay.
yeah, it was like really nice. There was a lot of other well, there wasn't a lot of other people around, but there was like other people around. So because it's a very kind of like I don't want to say like a touristy town, but you can definitely get like a good price Airbnb in a good location, especially if you're like I don't want to drive too much. I kind of want to walk. That was a good like I said, the hotels were kind of far away. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Did you all were you able to walk a lot, or did you have to Uber a lot of places, or did you rent a car? How did you get
Well,
around?
he because he drove, we were
Oh
able
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
drive where we needed to
Okay.
go, but we did walk to a couple of places. So
Okay.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. He wasn't a walker, so he was like, we should drive. I was like, okay. But you can definitely walk, especially if you're thinking about going out drinking. It was definitely within walking distance of a lot
Okay.
of bars and restaurants.
Okay. So, what is there to do in Nashville? Because, like I said, all I think about is country music and probably some good barbecue and definitely some whiskey.
Yes. So fun fact, I actually really like country music.
I don't think I knew that.
Yes. Like I really do like country music. So I found a Music City tour through
Nice.
Expedia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I booked a Music City tour through Expedia. It was $35 per person, so we both did it. And you get on a bus and you go around and they show you the history of Nashville. Interesting fact, Nashville is actually not really the only it's home to country, but it's also home to rock and roll and the blues. So
Mm,
there was a lot of black music history in Nashville that I wasn't
okay.
aware of. Yeah. So
Okay.
we did that and it was fun because on that tour we actually saw the African American Music Museum. I think I'm saying that right. It's an African American History of Music Museum. It's fairly new, and we were able to see that on the tour. And we
Mm,
actually went back there the next day, that afternoon, and it was maybe $20, $20 or $25 to get in, and it tours the history of African American music from like slavery all the way through
Wow.
today. So it was amazing. And it takes about maybe, I think it took us about an hour and a half to get through the entire museum. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. So we did that. We also went to Old Smoky Bar, which is like an outside bar, and they make their own moonshine, just FYI. It's really, really good. And it's really, really tasty. It's flavorful, but it's very strong. So they make their own moonshine, and there was a lot of food trucks, so you can sit outside. There was social distancing, you can drink, they have music, so that was fun. And then, like I said, we stayed close to where downtown was, so obviously there was like brunch spots. And then on Sunday, we went to the local farmers market, which was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And we saw some local vendors. We supported some Black owned businesses that were there. And then obviously the farmers market has like a bar and a lot of food. So you can actually get like beer and burgers and then go sit at the park and have lunch out there. So that was nice.
Nice, nice. So I have seen Nashville on quite a few lists of being a popular bachelorette party destination. Never thought of Nashville as being that. I think my mind immediately goes to New Orleans. So, what's your observation on that? Are these lists telling the truth?
So there was a bachelorette party bus every other car.
Okay, okay.
So, like, Nashville is definitely the city for bachelorette parties. And I think I would say that I would agree with that because you can do a lot in the weekend. So you can have a really good time in a short amount of days. Like I said, I don't want to say Nashville is small, but everything is kind of like centrally located. So you can hit the strip of all the bars, you can hit like the restaurants, the museums, all in kind of like a 4 block radius. So I would assume that that's why. But there was a bachelorette party everywhere,
So do they
everywhere.
have like, I think about like New Orleans and Bourbon Street or like maybe like a Miami and like Ocean Drive, like how like most cities have like their little strip or street or like in Memphis, they have oh, I can't think of the name of the Bill Street, I think it is.
Mhm.
Do they have like a street like that where it's like all the bars and clubs where you can just
Yep.
like
So
club hop?
yeah, I don't know the name of the street. I can't think of it right now, but there is a full strip of like bars. There's like the
Okay.
Tootsie Bar, there's Blake Shelton's bar, there's a bar with like Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire. So
Okay.
there's like, yeah, there's like a full strip. And I will say, I did go to Nashville in April of this year.
Mhm.
If you are thinking about traveling to Nashville, just be mindful that they are one of the states that doesn't have a mask mandate. So you will see a lot of you will see a lot of people congregating and not wearing a mask. So we didn't do a lot of that just because we were both kind of like we're not ready to kind of be in a lot of crowds
Mhm.
with no mask. But there was a lot of people out there, and you can literally like Ocean Drive in Miami. You can walk to each bar. You can sit outside, have some drinks, dance in the street, walk to the next bar, walk to the next bar. So it's like a strip of bars right there.
Okay. So I could see why it would be a bachelorette destination.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time. It's a lot.
I just don't think about a lot of us, you know?
Yeah, it was funny. Like I said, I didn't know there was that much Black music history in
Oh,
Nashville. And I think when you go to Nashville, I would say there's a lot of integration. So you
okay.
do see a lot of like mixed groups and stuff like that. Whereas I feel as when you go to Memphis, you probably see a lot more Black people in
Yeah.
Memphis
Yeah, definitely.
as
Definitely.
opposed to Nashville. And Vanderbilt is in Nashville, so
Oh,
it's also
okay.
a big college town.
Okay.
So there's that too. But
Okay.
I mean, they were sprinkled in there here and there.
Okay. Any final tips or recommendations for Nashville?
Ooh, for Nashville. I would definitely recommend the music tour. I think
Okay.
that was really fun and interesting just learning more about Nashville. And like I said, I think you can do a lot in a little bit of time. Just be mindful of the COVID COVID culture down
Yeah.
there if you're coming from a state. I'm coming from New Jersey, so definitely have like the mask mandate, so that was a little different. But we still were able to have a really good time. We did a lot of stuff. They're definitely good for brunch. So if you like brunch, Nashville's a good
Mm.
place for brunch, and they are a good place for some whiskey.
And I
Whis-
love whiskey, so that's a place for me.
yes, whiskey is their thing, and like I said, a lot of places like Old Smoky makes their own moonshine, but a lot of places you can get their local whiskey there. What else can I suggest? I think just go. I think a weekend is good for Nashville. You can hit
Okay.
Nashville weekend and
Okay.
have a good time. The other thing I would say is there is a Tennessee State University campus in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's like an offshoot. It's not the big campus, but there's like a smaller campus there. So you can also like there's a couple of HBCUs in the vicinity, so you can definitely see that. That was nice. We didn't get to do all of that, but like I said, everything is centrally located. If you want to party, have a good time, see
Mhm.
Nashville. There's a lot of museums to hit up. So if you do have some time to see a museum, and it's not just about music, it's about like history and all that. They have a lot of
Mhm.
history museums there too. So definitely hit that up. But yeah, I feel like Nashville is a good. I think it would be a good girls trip, obviously
Uh-huh.
for bachelorettes. I think if you wanted to do a vacation there, you could do like a quick weekend getaway. I think that would be fun too. So
Mhm.
yeah, Nashville is a good little. It's a good town to see at least once, if nothing else.
Mhm. Would you
Yeah,
go back?
yeah, I would definitely go
Okay.
back. Hmm. Yes.
And what would you do differently?
Ooh, I would probably. What do I do different?
Or like what would you do that you didn't get a chance to do on this past trip?
What
Was there
would I
anything you felt like you missed?
I definitely wanted to go to the Tootsie Bar. I was seeing that everywhere, and I was like, I definitely want to go there. There was probably a couple of restaurants that I wanted to go to that I didn't get to go to. I didn't also try hot chicken. I think is like their thing in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
I didn't eat the
Okay,
local.
yeah, they are known for like a Nashville something style chicken or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't get that. The first night I was thinking about it, but then I was like, moonshine and hot chicken probably don't go well together. So I
Yeah,
was
it would
like,
have been a delayed morning the next.
I'll pass on that. But I will say, I think what I would have done differently is I probably would have came in on a Thursday, so I would have had 3 full days to kind of see
Okay.
Nashville. I think we tried to get more in than we probably wanted to because we were trying to figure out, oh, this looks fun, this looks fun. So I would give myself an extra full day to really like go out and kind of see some more of the sites that I didn't get to see.
Okay, okay. Well, as this is your second convo because you have been living it up and traveling the world. So tell us again about your blog and where we can find you.
Yeah, so I actually will be releasing a Nashville tips and tricks blog in about
Okay.
2 weeks. So you can find it on Instagram on Stepping Into She, and the link is in my bio. So you click the link, all of the links to the blog posts are there. Or my blog is actually steppingintoshe.com, and that's INTO. So not INT, IN2. It's Stepping Into INTO She. So you can either go to the blog website or you can just follow me on Instagram, click the link in the bio, and see all of the cool stuff that I got going on.
Yes. Well, thanks so much, Courtney. You are
Yes, thank you for having me again.
definitely giving me travel inspiration. I'm adding Nashville to the list.
Yes, you should. You should.
Maybe I'll do that this year too. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a
See.
good quick, and they're centrally located to like a lot of different bigger cities apparently.
Mhm.
So even if you did a road trip, that would be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see how far it is from Chicago. I may be able to drive. That would be nice.
Mhm. Come in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Courtney.
Thanks, girl. Thanks, everybody.